This is a podcast all about Bears. You either cheering for this team or just pulling your hair. I like to take a minute, just sit right back and tell you how I became the #1 Bears fan.
That boy is Benny Hunter.
Cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic. People, this the intro. Sacramento, California, born and raised. And Antelope is where I spend most of my days. Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So after Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears traded away Robert Quinn for a 4th round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday, I was sitting here thinking, and I couldn't help but start thinking about how Ryan Poles is building this roster the right way. And obviously, we've talked about Ryan Poles' approach a lot on the podcast. But I wanted to come on here today and talk about how Ryan Poles has the Bears in the right direction for future success. And obviously, there's still a lot of Ryan Poles doubters. There's still a lot of people out there that don't like the fact that he didn't do enough to surround Justin Fields. We need offensive linemen. We need wide receiver help. And that's all evident. And obviously, my response to that would be, well, it's only his first offseason or first season as the Chicago Bears GM. I have a lot of confidence that Ryan Poles will, in fact, surround Justin Fields with offensive line help this offseason. I feel that Ryan Poles will also get Justin Fields some more weapons this offseason as well. Probably in the draft, maybe via trade. Who knows what he's going to do? But I do know that Ryan Poles is not just going to leave Justin Fields hanging. But I wanted to come on here and talk about the good things that Ryan Poles has done and how these moves will affect the Chicago Bears and how it's setting up the Chicago Bears for future success. And here's the one thing about Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles has stuck to his word. When he came in here, he said that he wants to build through the NFL draft, right? And that's something that we're going to talk about here on the podcast today as well, because that's something that he has done very well already, even though he's only had one draft as a Chicago Bears GM. But Ryan Poles has stuck to his word as the Chicago Bears GM. He has parted ways with expensive, aging veterans that didn't fit the rebuild timeline. And once again, he has built through the NFL draft. So let's talk about some of the moves that Ryan Poles has made this offseason that's going to help the Chicago Bears build future success. The first move that he made, which is the most obvious, he traded Khalil Mack for a 2nd and 6th round pick. And obviously that 2nd round pick led to Jaquan Brisker. Obviously everyone knows that Jaquan Brisker is an absolute stud and he's only going to continue to get better. So that looks like an awesome trade right now for the Chicago Bears and the future of the Chicago Bears as well. And also, when you trade a guy like Khalil Mack, you're also getting rid of a lot of that salary, meaning you're earning cap space as well. Obviously, then he cut guys like Danny Trevathan, Tariq Cohen, among others, to generate more cap space, which those were also awesome moves. Obviously, Danny Trevathan had trouble staying on the field. Obviously, Tariq Cohen was banged up. So those were good moves for the Chicago Bears to make. And then obviously, drafting rookies that will make instant impact for our team right away. Guys like Kyler Gordon. I know he had a rough start, but he's been picking it up the last couple of weeks. Jaquan Brisker, absolute stud. Dominique Robinson has shown flashes when he's gotten the opportunity to play, right? Obviously, Trenton Gill, Braxton Jones, among others. And that was obviously one of the big things that Ryan Poles said that he wanted to accomplish as a Chicago Bears GM. Building through the draft, developing these young guys into something special. And obviously, when you look at guys like Jaquan Brisker, right, you can tell that plan is working out. And then obviously trading Robert Quinn yesterday for a 4th round pick and obviously adding draft capital so he can actually execute his vision by building through the draft. Obviously, the Bears have now 7 total picks in the 2023 NFL draft to work with. And I don't think Ryan Poles is done. There's still a couple guys on this roster that may be on the chopping block. Guys like maybe David Montgomery. I don't want to see Montgomery get traded, but he could be a trade asset. Guys like Eddie Jackson, right, playing at an all-time high. So you don't know. There's still obvious ways that Ryan Poles can continue to help this roster, build this roster up for future success, right? So we just have to wait and see. And obviously, along with all these moves, the Bears are now sitting at $125 million in cap space. And the crazy thing about that number is that the next closest team in terms of cap space is at $58 million. So all those moves in the offseason that Ryan Poles made, right? Like not re-signing Akeem Hicks, cutting Danny Trevathan, trading away Khalil Mack, trading away Robert Quinn yesterday for a fourth-round pick to the Eagles, right? All those moves have led to the amount of cap space that the Chicago Bears are going to have in the 2023 offseason. That is absolutely beautiful. And then I go back to my point, right? Now that we know the cap space number is probably going to even get higher with more of the moves that he makes, right? Generating more cap space for the Chicago Bears to work with in the 2023 offseason. Now I'm going back to my point about the people that are hating on Ryan Poles and the moves that he's made by saying he hasn't done enough to surround Justin Fields with enough talent at wide receiver or more protection on offensive line. Okay. Simple logic says here, Bears fans, that with $125 million in cap space and 7 draft picks, right? Simple logic says that, he's going to help Justin Fields. He's going to get Justin Fields some offensive line help, right? He's going to get Justin Fields some more weapons on the outside. With $125 million and 7 draft picks, I know we're going to end up getting more. Maybe via compensation, maybe via trades, maybe in the NFL draft we trade back and get more compensation. That number is going to change. This number of cap space is going to change. Ryan Poles is going to add to this roster, but I wanted to come on here and say Ryan Poles is doing it the right way. He's getting rid of old expensive players and building through the draft. And the most important thing about building through the draft is allowing these young guys to play and develop the right way. And at the end of the day, we all know that we're not built to win right now. Yes, the Chicago Bears will win some games. Obviously on Monday Night Football, that was a big win on the road against, to me, a pretty good New England Patriots team, right? So yes, we will win some games. But the moves that Ryan Poles is making is not for now. It is to set us up for future success of this Chicago Bears organization. So when you look at what Ryan Poles is wanting to do with the Chicago Bears roster, it's already working. His plan is already coming together. He's gaining draft capital, right? He's gaining salary cap. Once again, we're sitting at $125 million to spend in the 2023 offseason, and he's developing these young talent via the draft. Well, not him, but the coaches that he is drafting are developing these guys, these young players, the right way. When he took over as the Chicago Bears GM, the Bears were sitting at one of the oldest rosters in the entire NFL. Now we have 8 rookies out of the 11 starting on special teams. We have 2 rookies starting in the secondary in Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon. We're now going to have a guy in Dominic Robinson starting probably as a pass rusher, right? Or at least rotating and getting a lot of playing time. We have a starting left tackle in Braxton Jones. This team is young, and they're going to be getting developed the right way due to what Ryan Poles has done. And this is his vision. And this is what Ryan Poles wanted to do. Build through the draft. Gain draft capital. Get the salary cap up, right? So he can spend. But building through the draft, letting these young guys play and develop the right way was Ryan Poles' mission. So I wanted to come on here and just make this video for anyone hating on Ryan Poles, because to me personally, he has done everything he can to make sure the Chicago Bears are set up for future success. Remember, Bears fans, we are in a rebuild. We're not in win now mode. All the moves we're making is for future success. Once again, $125 million to spend. 7 draft picks in the 2023 NFL draft so far, and that number will change. Ryan Poles is doing it the right way and is setting up the Chicago Bears for future success. And let me tell you, Bears fans, I am so excited for the future of this organization. And I just want to give kudos to Ryan Poles for him being able to do it the right way and building a roster to hopefully sustain success for years to come. So Bears fans, before I let you guys go, let me ask you this question. How excited are you guys about the future of the Chicago Bears? Let me know down below in the comment section. Before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. And make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, I'll be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.